At UFC Baku in Azerbaijan, Dana White announced Jon Jones' retirement, and since then, the prevailing sentiment from MMA fans is that Jon Jones ducked Tom Aspinall. Do you think there's any truth to this? Did Jones avoid the fight, or is it just fan vitriol? And what does this mean for Jones' legacy? Has it been tarnished, or is this just part of the narrative that surrounded him for so long?
Oh boy. All right.
Oh yeah. It's about to get ugly in here now. I already know.
Yeah, it is.
So I'll go ahead and do the honors. I'm just gonna say this. When we look at Jon Jones's career, does it really surprise anybody? If you go back and look at his career, none of it was like step by step, you should do this. It's always been tumultuous. Something at every turn, there was always something happening. And somebody was like, what? Like, why is this going on? Why is he doing this? For me, it when you think about it, it makes perfect sense. Like, he's not going to go out how we all think he should go out, had that one big last fight, go out. I mean, I'm with everybody in the chat. I wanted Jon to fight Tom 100%. I did. I'm upset the fight's not going to happen. I'm upset the Francis Ngannou fight didn't happen. But, you know, at the end of the day, we don't know. We don't know what was really going on behind the scenes. It's really all speculation. But at the end of the day, I mean, I feel like it's gonna be a talking point for a little bit of time.
Mm-hmm.
But then as time goes on, we're not gonna be talking about he didn't fight Tom Aspinall on the way out. What we're gonna talk about are all the guys he actually fought and actually beat in his career.
Yeah, I agree, man. So when I was thinking about this, I started writing down words. I was like, what do I think of Jon Jones? What are the words that come to my head when I think of Jon Jones? And so the words that come to my head are selfish, delusional, troublemaker, addict, narcissist, talented, generational, warrior, icon, GOAT. Those are the words that come to my mind. And both of those things can be true. For all the good that we see in that young 23-year-old kid that beat Shogun Hua to win the belt, you can see all the bad, the hit and run that just happened, the hit and run previously, him hiding under the Octagon to hide from, you know, people doing the test, all the confrontations, all those things. You mix all that up, and that's what you get is Jon Jones. That's what you get. He is not a perfect person by any means, not even close to it. But when the Octagon door closes, nobody can beat him. And when it comes to this fight with Tom and all of the people saying that he's ducking Tom or he ducked Tom, I understand what you're saying. I get it. Because if you look at the way that this whole thing played out, the length of time that it took from the Stipe Miocic fight until now, like, it's a long, drawn-out process. And like you said, we don't know what happened behind the scenes. We don't know what was said, what wasn't said. You know, does the media rights deal play into the timing or the lack of timing? Was he ready to fight at a certain time in the UFC? We don't know any of those things. But the thing is, Jon Jones is already a villain. He's been a villain. He's been a villain for a long time. So it's very easy to pin it on him. Jon Jones did not sanction that belt. Jon Jones is not the UFC. He didn't put that belt around his own waist. Jon Jones did not sign himself up to fight for the heavyweight belt. They had to agree with that. Jon Jones does not give himself fights. So the amount of culpability that you're giving to Jon Jones, you got to give that same stuff to Dana White, Sean Shelby, Hunter Campbell, because they're the ones that could have stripped him a long time ago. They're the ones that could have protected Tom's legacy, right? They're the ones that could have cut this whole thing off, you know, and nipped it in the bud. They're the ones you should be mad at. I know it's easy to be mad at Jon Jones because he's a piece of shit, I guess. But the thing is I give Jon Jones maybe 20, 30% of this because they could have put a stop to this a long time ago. They could have stopped it. Ultimately, what I think happened with Jon is at this stage of life, it's hard after you've done all those things. Remember, he fought on the GSP fight card in 2008. It's 2025. Okay. He fought in 2008. He's been fighting for a long time. And it's hard for him to get up for those types of fights. I think that's really what it came down to. Does he want to go through the entire training camp? You know, as a former athlete, it's not the game that is the hard part. It's the training to get there. And so maybe he didn't want to get into all that. Maybe he didn't want to, maybe he just couldn't get himself riled up to do it. I don't know. But I think that, yes, there's a portion of this that goes to Jon, 100%. But I think a larger portion goes to Dana and the people who allowed this to happen. That's where I point the finger. And do I change him being the GOAT or being the greatest of all time? It's fictitious. It's not even real. It's opinion based. Do I change it? No. I think that if you go into the Octagon, I don't think anybody can beat him. But we'll never know. And that's what it came down to.
I'll speak on this. Like what you said as far as about being an athlete as you get a little older and like you're trying to get yourself up for again and again. Like, bro, that is 100% facts. Like mentally, you want to do it, but then the body isn't quite responding how it used to. You're feeling some things you've never really felt before. And I get it, man. Like from the outside looking in, us, the fans, we're like, oh, like that's the big fight. It's the exciting fight. But you got to realize this has been this guy's life for how long? Over a decade. Every fight was the next big one, Now, I get it. You know, people in the chat, especially Leroy, his thing was Jon should have retired after 309. Valid take. I got nothing against that at all.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree.
For sure. But the thing is, let's say Jon were to fight Tom, and let's say Jon beat Tom, and then he retired. You know what people have to say then? Well, he didn't fight Francis. Like it's the goalpost was always going to continue getting moved, regardless what he did, and there was always going to be something there, no matter what happened. You know, you can't please everybody. At the end of the day, if Jon Jones is happy with his career and what he's done, that's really all that matters. Because I can promise everybody in the chat, Jon Jones is not losing a lick of sleep over people being upset he didn't fight Tom Aspinall.
Nope, not a lick of sleep. And the fact that he's been the villain and he leaves the villain, what changes for him? Nothing. Nothing changes. Nothing. He does not care. Tua said Jon will come out of retirement to fight whoever beats Tom. He might not. I don't think he does.
I don't think so either. I think once you're at that level and you check out mentally, trying to get back into it mentally is such a big hurdle. Big hurdle. Like once you just have it mentally, you're not doing it anymore and you accept it and then you try to get back into it. It is so much harder than just you staying on top. Just think about like going to the gym and working out. When you're working out all the time for months and months and months, it's super easy. But then when you take a few months off and you try to get back into it, it's like, I don't know, I'm so sore. I don't want to do this. And at that point, it's kind of like, how did I used to do this all the time? It's because mentally you're in a totally different place.
100%. 100%. And man, I knew this was going to cook in the chat.
Oh yeah.
I knew it would. Let's see. Let's dig into a couple of these. Zach, who's another real one, said Jon Jones' career has far too many asterisks at this point in time for me to call him GOAT.
That's fair.
I totally get that, man. I can't
Yeah.
argue with that. But at the same time, I could put asterisks in everybody's GOAT conversation. Anybody, name a person, I could put an asterisk there. I can create an asterisk. Nobody has a flawless resume. Nobody does. Nobody does. And it's not supposed to be, because it doesn't even, this is not real.
Yep.
This is it's a based on opinion. Some people have GSP as their GOAT because he never had any failed drug tests, which I respect that 100%, and I can't argue that. But on the flip side, GSP lost to Hendricks. He lost that fight, and we know that
lost to Matt Serra too.
We know a dude who won the Ultimate Fighter came right off of that show and knocked him out. So name another person. You want to talk about Khabib? Okay, sure. Khabib has 3 title defenses. Benson Henderson has the same number of title defenses as him. Okay, you want to name Anderson Silva? Okay, sure. Steroids.
Yep.
If you name a person, you can find a flaw. And that's just what it is. So, I mean, Lane says it doesn't make him a GOAT. I think it puts him on GOAT Mountain. And that's the way that I look at it. These guys, when it came to being in the cage, you know, all of those people that I just named, you're hard pressed to find a way to beat them. It's just very, very difficult to beat those dudes. And that's just what it is. Hold on. I know Matua said something funny. Let me see. What did he say? Oh, yeah. I think he put that there to read it, because he ain't living it. He ain't living it. Yeah. GSP turned around and showed he can overcome adversity. Jones never overcame adversity. You don't know what adversity he overcame. Like I said, in the words that I said, him being an addict, I think he is an addict. And I think that he had to overcome that to even come back and fight OSP.
Yep. Him getting stripped, coming back, being a champion again. That's adversity.
There's adversity. Yeah. Grime, you brought up Khabib. Like I said, Khabib could have been the GOAT. Left
too soon.
I can't give you credit for fights you didn't have.
Because now Khabib's not even the greatest guy in his weight class anymore.
Nope. He's not. Let's see. Aaron Tats, man, I haven't seen you in a minute, man. I appreciate you jumping in here. Aaron Tats is another real one. There's no universal conditions that hold the same weight in GOAT conversations. Like I have Anderson as my GOAT, but that's just my opinion. 100%.
Yep.
100%. And that's kind of the way that I see it. As far as this hurting his legacy, what do you think about this hurting his legacy?
I mean, for me, like, Jon Jones was already on GOAT Mountain before he even went to heavyweight. So I mean, I don't see how it, like, I get it. It's going to be a talking point, but the legacy was already written in ink. Yeah. It was already etched in stone already. So nothing he did at heavyweight was going to change what he did at light heavyweight. I mean, the 2 wins he got at heavyweight only add to it for me.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. Like, it didn't erase the fights before. You know, so like all this is the cherry on top. Leroy.
Tony Ferguson is my GOAT. Hey, he going on that next title run, baby.
Yeah, for sure. I want to know if he gonna fight again. Have you seen his videos? Him doing I don't know what he doing, bro. I don't know if he training for the breakdancing in the Olympics. I don't know what he doing, but he's doing some weird stuff, man. He always doing some weird training.
Yeah, that's par for the course over there.
Let's see. How did the story about the accident in the half-naked woman get buried 4 months? I don't know, but that seems intentional. It seems intentional to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no different than the Izzy story before he fought Strickland, like when he got pulled over and had the DUI and all of that. Like, we didn't hear about that until after he lost the Strickland fight.
Let's see. Dr. Evil said, or Dr. Evil Jr. said, for me, Jones doesn't have a legacy. He went out as a coward and is negative to society. It's pretty cut and dry to me, just my opinion.
I respect it.
Yeah, I definitely respect that. And you know, I'm not gonna let him babysit my kids. I'm not gonna do that. But I will say, if I need somebody to go out and fight another dude, you know, for us to get water in the neighborhood, I want that dude to go out there. So I mean, like I said, he's equal parts good and bad. He's not a good dude. But that's not what this is. This is not mixed martial niceness.
Yeah. And honestly, if anything, I think that part of him made him what he was inside the octagon. Because I mean, if you go across whatever sports you want, the guys that are at the top of the top, they're not nice guys between the lines, inside the cage. Like, they are savages. Because just to get there, guys, like, you got to be a shark. And then to be elite amongst people that do it for their living in any sport, you got to be a shark amongst sharks. And it's different. Like, you literally like walk around, you think like, hey, like, I'm the best person on the planet to do whatever it is. And you may not be speak outwardly about it, but in your mind, you have that mentality. You have to, because if you don't, you're not even gonna get there.
Yeah. I mean, you know, from personal experience, like, you know, you played at the highest level of college football, you know, and I'm pretty sure that the dudes that off the field, when you're talking to them, that is not the same guy as it is on the field. It's got to be
100%. 100%. Because I mean, when you get amongst like other men that are super competitive at the highest level, like, the difference is not physical. The difference between guys that are good and elite is all right here. That literally is what separates everybody. And it's the craziest thing, because everybody that's gotten there got all the talent in the world, all the ability in the world. But then, like, there's a few guys that believe in themselves, but they don't like believe like how some of these other guys believe in themselves. And that's literally what separates people.
Yeah, that's true. Leandro said Jones will hop on a new cycle and make a return. And you know what's interesting about that is, so we talked about, you know, him walking away because, you know, perhaps he didn't want to get up for training. Well, what will a new cycle do? What will steroids do? It'll help you heal in order to be able to train. So you're not far off when you say that. If he was allowed to do that, then yeah, I could see him coming back 100%. I could see it. But hopefully they don't let him do that. That would be terrible. That would be awful.
Thanks for watching Crosswalk. Make sure to come back next Tuesday to chop it up.
So please, whatever.